Now is the time of the long winter, when the touch of the sun barely sweeps the land. The first people know to stay inside and keep warm, so the village is as quiet as the snowfall. Except for... something new has come to the people. Something nobody has experienced before.
Oh, the misery. This can't possibly get worse.
Why are you complaining? I am so snuffed up. I sound like an idiot when I talk.
Nothing new there.
Being miserable hasn't made you any funnier.
Was that you say fuffier?
Yes, funnier.
What's happening to us? We've been this way for days.
No doubt something Raven did.
Don't look at me. If I'd done something this bad, I wouldn't be suffering as well. Trust me.
Some comfort that is.
What'd I do? Really? I'm innocent, I tell you.
Raven is right. He had nothing to do with this.
You see? Ha! Thank you, Frog.
So who is responsible? We're all miserable. And look at my nose.
None of us have been out in days. Even the children feel terrible.
And nothing we do seems to help. Hot water, blankets, none of it does any good.
We still feel terrible. Perhaps a story will clear this up.
Oh, great. Another story.
A story?
Ah, goody story.
Come on, skip the story. Just give us the juicy details.
Yes, we can't suffer any longer, Frog. Especially me.
Let her speak. It will do us good to hear something other than sneezing and coughing. Go on, Frog.
Thank you. Well, it was a few days ago when the snow began anew. I was summoned to see the Great Spirit. Apparently, there was some problem in the forest that needed solving. The animals had called a council to speak with the Great Spirit. They had come a great distance to see him, and they had some, shall we say, complaints that needed airing. And the Great Spirit called me to his side.
Frog. So good to see you. You know the animals.
Every kind of animal was there. Birds and beasts, fur, feather and scale, insect and fish, and finally frogs. Those who live between earth and water and serve as counsel to the Great Spirit.
With you here now, Frog, we can begin. Honorable animals, you have asked me here to consider some complaints you have about the way I have created this world. You know me to be your friend in every way, so please, do not hesitate to speak. Now, who is first among you? I cannot hear you if you don't speak aloud.
Great Spirit.
Great Spirit! Great Spirit! The humans live a life free of burden, with feet that are swift and hands that are quick and capable. They walk upright and rule both day and night. They have the warmth of fire and shelter of homes. They can gather plenty enough to take them through the winter. The only suffering they ever know is that of which they bring upon themselves. Great Spirit, we've asked you to consider this and perhaps find some way of making things, well, equal. Great Spirit, the humans live a life free of burden, with feet that are swift and hands that are quick and capable. We've asked you to consider this and perhaps find some way of making things, well, equal.
The Great Spirit looked over the animals gathered in front of him, and he said,
I hear your words, Mouse, and you have spoken bravely and honestly, and there is some truth in what you say. So I ask, what would you have me do to remedy this circumstance?
Hey there, Great Spirit. I'm Yona, the Bear Chief.
I know you, Yona. Welcome.
Well, it's like this, Great Spirit. We bears figure, since we've got to live our lives without the benefits of fire, coughing and sniffing and living in cold caves for half our lives during the winter, well, it should only be fair that the same be true of people in the world. The coughing and sniffing bit, that is. So yeah, that was what we were thinking.
Thank you, Yona.
The Great Spirit listened, but he said nothing. At this, the mother snake came forward.
It is good to see you, Unnatsia.
Our wish is this. Since we must all live our lives with our bellies on the ground, with no way to avoid the burning stones in summer, the people should also suffer a terrible heat in their bodies. I thank you, Great Spirit.
Again, the Great Spirit listened, but he said nothing.
Hello, Ziskaya.
We are honored, Great Spirit. All of us speak as one on this. We believe it is only fair that the people of the world have pain in their joints, like we the insects do, as they grow older. A simple request, that is all.
Ah, Sisikwa. I thought you would have some word in this.
Of course, Great Spirit. We birds are nothing else, if not talkers.
And your objection?
Great Spirit, we are tired of hearing the humans talk all the time. Blah, 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 etc. Their words are not beautiful like the song of the bird. Beautiful. The words of the people are ugly and clumsy. I, the bird chief, ask that for part of the year they may be struck mute. Or, at the very least, be given sore throats so they will not speak.
Ah, the fish wish to speak. The fish have asked me to consider the cold of the water in which they live. They ask that the people suffer a cold in their bodies, equal to the cold of the waters in which they dwell.
After this, there was a great silence in the forest.
Frog, I have heard from all the animals of the forest, and their complaints appear fair. Yet I am not at ease. I need your counsel. Is there anyone else who should speak before I render my decision?
I can think of one assembly gathered here who has not spoken.
Of course. How could I forget? It is decided then. I will give all of the animals here what you wish, to make things even among you and the people. So once a year, the people of this world will suffer like the bear, and the snake, and the insect, and the fish, and will be silenced as the birds wish. It is done. As you have asked, I have honored your request. But, as I have been counseled by Frog, and as the plants and trees have agreed, there will be a cure in all these ills to be found in the roots, the leaves, and the bark. A cure for any ill, if the people are smart enough to find them, and wise enough to preserve and remember them.
Well, they aren't smart enough to figure that one out.
And certainly not wise enough to remember.
That is all. We are done here.
And that is the end of this story. So now you know how this sickness has come into the world, and...
You mean to tell me the animals did this to me?
They did this to all of us, Raven. Especially me. And look at my nose.
Actually, not all of you. You and Raven are not sick at all, Eagle. You're just being silly.
What?
As elders, you are not affected. You just think you are. But their sickness is real.
But why?
You have heard why. The Great Spirit is wise enough to know that balance must be maintained in all things. He did what had to be done.
Balance schmalance. I say we get the Great Spirit sick and see how he feels.
The Great Spirit feels all things at all times. He is among you now, and he feels your sickness. Of this you need not worry.
Well, we're still miserable. Your story didn't fix that.
But remember everything I said.
Yeah. Frog also said something about the plants.
Yes, she did. We just have to find the right plants to cure our ill health.
We have plenty of dried plants here.
We just have to figure out which ones will cure us.
Yeah, and remember the cure.
Well, let's get to work. There's plenty to do.
Hey, where's Raven?
I feel better already.